Side Manhattan career girls, ambitious, assertive, and coming of age in a time when children were taught, in Friedan's words, to pity the neurotic, unfeminine, unhappy women who wanted to be poets or physicists or presidents. And while some adults consider Harriet's stalking, peeping, eavesdropping, and occasional breaking and entering a nasty business, betrayal is never Harriet's intention. She doesn't spy to extort, or to blackmail, or to abuse the secrets she collects. She is an apprentice writer gathering material. It is all in service of her craft. In those bad old days when many women still couldn't get a credit card without a male co-signer, and advertisements entreated wives to make husband-pleasing coffee, Harriet the Spy gave children countercultural ideas. She did things that kids weren't supposed to do, and things they may not have considered before reading about them. Harriet quaffed egg creams. She rode 3 to a motorcycle. She saw a therapist. She wore a tool belt with a flashlight and a knife, and ate cake every day after school. She eavesdropped through a skylight or in a dumbwaiter, and kept notes on strangers and friends. Harriet the Spy inspired the many enterprising children who formed spy clubs and took their notebooks on expeditions around their neighborhoods. Kids saw themselves in her flawed, fearless image. The book's distracted comic adults were also new to modern children's literature. Harriet's mother and father are busy, worldly New Yorkers, affectionate but unreliable. Fortunately, they leave care of their daughter to a learned nanny named Old Golly, magical in her erudition. When Harriet's independence is pressured by the demands of conformity, Old Golly helps her find the means to resist and even to subvert situations to her advantage. For instance, Harriet understands that learning to foxtrot and waltz is a rite of passage in her upper-crust society, and she dreads dancing school as a place where preteen girls are sent to learn all the correct steps and to follow a boy's lead. Old Golly helps Harriet reimagine the ballroom floor as a field of operation, where agents like Mata Hari, a great dancer and a great spy, triumphed under cover. Harriet's tradecraft takes a dangerous turn when her school friends discover one of the notebooks in which she has recorded her truthful and unflattering impressions of them. In short order, they form a gang of spy catchers to expose and shun her. Again, Old Golly offers counsel. If Harriet wants her friends back, she is going to have to apologize, and she is going to have to lie. In effect, to publicly repudiate her own writing. This is terrifying medicine that comes with its own antidote. Writing is to put love into the world, not to use against your friends, Harriet learns. But to yourself, you must always tell the truth. Baby boomers made Harriet the Spy a success, but it was with later generations that it became a phenomenon. Its influence became more pervasive among the future women of Gen X, girls who were between 8 and 10 years old in the late 1970s and early 1980s. Within a decade of publication, Harriet the Spy was recognized by the librarians who shelved it, the educators who taught it, and the scholars who memorialized it as one of the first books for children written in a modern, realist style. Over time, those supporters and legions of readers have made Harriet the Spy one of the most popular books of children's literature and propelled its 11-year-old protagonist into the company of other brainy girl heroines, such as Scout in To Kill a Mockingbird and Jo in Little Women. In its first 5 years, the book sold around 2.5 million copies. By 2019, it had sold nearly 5 million copies worldwide. Although the book was in many ways a product of its newly liberated time, it has lasting appeal. There is, in particular, much to